So, Katie, what do you get up to on a Friday night? Math videos, because I'm that cool. So, what are we doing today? Logarithms. I was so excited about this joke. You should have seen the way the landscaper looked when he watched me steal a stick, put it in my backpack, and run off. Great times. So, I'm going to write logs. They are scary. I can't write. That's supposed to be a C. Especially the first time you do them. This is really where in math I kind of freaked out for the big first freak out in math. You have that, you always remember the big first panic attack. And this was mine. So, my math teacher was a great guy. And he had this chant. It was like a cult. We always had her do this. And it's called a logarithm is equal to an exponent. Over and over. Log is equal to exponent. And we remember that one. That will save you. I've taken lots of college math classes, and every time I see a log, I think in my head, log is equal to exponent. And then I feel a bit better and we move on. It really is. You got to wrap your head around it. It takes a while. I promise it gets better. We use natural logs all the time now in math, and it's kind of, we're over it. It gets better. So, you know how when you multiply, the opposite of multiplying is dividing, and the opposite of adding is subtraction? That kind of makes sense. Well, what if we have something to an exponent? What's the opposite of that? It is a log. Just think of it as backward exponent. Okay, so you're always going to have either a log written or sometimes ln, and we'll get to ln. It's called natural log, but we'll get there. So you're going to have log, and it's always equal to an exponent. So it's going to be equal to my exponent. And the number involved goes underneath, right? So then what goes here? Whatever your answer is goes here. So log of x to the nth power is equal to y. And that seems so very backwards. And I still don't know why they did it this way, because to me it seems backwards, but we're just going to trust them. So sometimes you're not going to have log and then some number. Sometimes I don't write it that way. If you just get log, we're going to do a nice easy one. If it's log and no number underneath, it's assumed that it's 10, right? Because 10 to the second power is equal to 100, right? That kind of makes sense. Another nice easy one to do, I like the power of 2s. They're nice. So, 2, and then they're going to say 8 there. And a lot of times they're going to say, okay, solve it. And then you panic. That's what I do. But then you just think 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is 8. So that's 3. It's just a lot of it takes practice, wrapping your head around it. A lot of log is equal to an exponent over and over and over in your mind. So what's this natural log thing up here we mentioned? Well, I don't know how far you've gone in any of this, so if I'm making it too slow, too easy, I apologize. You know how pi is a thing, and it's equal to the certain number? Well, there's another special one called e. E is a lot of fun, we will say. And it's equal to, I had to use my calculator because I'm just used to writing e. It's 2.72 is a good number to round it to. This is my calculator. I've used it for a long time. So the little e thing here, second e, and then e to whatever power you want. Right? Yeah, there's your answer. We're going to do some logs on the calculator in a second, but I want to get some of this basis done first. So, that bothers me. Same with, this is the cord to charge it, so I don't delete all my video like before. I just wrote on the wall. I didn't mean to do that. We have to erase that later. So, let's say we have log base e. Now you're thinking, why would we ever do that? This is like a stupid number. Well, math is weird, and this little devil number comes up everywhere. It's everywhere. It's like involved. I'm sure somewhere, if we ever unlock the key and the answer to the universe, this guy is behind it. I'm convinced. Okay. So we use this dude enough that it has its own special notation. Because let's be real, we're not going to write log 2.718 whatever every single time. Too much work. Instead, we write the grits are different sizes on the back. Okay. Instead, we write ln. And nothing goes in the bottom because you already know that it's equal to log of e. So I know that seems like the dumbest thing in the world, but I promise later it'll come in handy and you'll still be heard about it, but you'll learn to move past that pain. We all learn to repress lots of terrible math things in our life. I promise you. So let's look at some easy ways to put these in a calculator. This is the one I have. I'm sure yours is kind of similar. Maybe it's a bit different. If you have the same one as mine, then that's great, because this will make more sense. Ignore all the pencil in between the buttons, because when I was in 8th grade, I drew all over it because I was bored in math class, and now I regret it every day because I can't get it to erase. So there's a log button and an ln button. This log is always that base 10 log. Did I say that? Base is what the number underneath the log is. But that's always going to be log 10. So if we say log of 100, it's going to tell us 2. Remember, that's that whole 10 to the second is equal to 100. That's what's going on here. Similarly, if you want to like double check things, work backwards. If you hit the second, then there's that 10x. You can say 10 to the second power, and it'll say 100. So you can always like double check if you've really confused yourself. There's also ln, which is our natural log. Same thing. We can put whatever number we want here. And so e to the 4th power-ish gives us 56. See how that one kind of works? Same thing. I can do second e to the x, and then I can get e to whatever power. We said it was what, 4-ish? Yep. That'd be close to 56. A nice thing, if you ever need to know e and you can't remember it, second, get to your e to the power, and then just do 1. And that's nice. Oh, this is another important one. There's like little properties, and I've just now remembered this. They're not really important, they're kind of self-explanatory, but sometimes it helps to see them written out. Okay, any log, doesn't matter whatever you have down here. If this number, hold on, let me write this correctly. Any log with any number here, if this is a 1, it's going to be equal to 0. I promise you. If you have a 1, this is 0, no matter what your base is. This is another one of those things no one taught me, and then this hit me on a test, and I was very mad about it. I'm sure they did teach me, and I was scribbling on the numbers in my calculator, and that's why I missed it. But regardless, because any number to the 0 is equal to 1. So if you know this property, this makes sense. So just know these two are a thing. Also, if I have log with any base, okay, and the same numbers here, the exponent is 1. You're thinking, why? Well, because 5 to the 1 power is 5. I mean, those almost aren't worth writing, but also they are, because this makes sense. But at least to me, when I see this, I panic. So just know, same's equal to 1, 1's equal to 0. Good stuff. So let's say you get a really weird log, okay, doesn't make any sense. And you can't, it's not base 10, so you can't put it in the calculator. It's not natural log, you can't put it in the calculator. It's not a friendly one, like our log 2 to 8 we looked at, where you can just kind of do some mental math and you know it. You're really trapped. I think somewhere there's like big lists and books of like people who did all these and you can reference the tables. But again, I don't know that for sure. I'm sure it exists, but it means you're not going to have access to it either. Well, there's a handy dandy formula. 1 minute, because I can pull it up because I don't have it remembered. All right, I'm back. I know it's kind of unprofessional to stop and be like, I gotta check my notes. But I didn't want to tell you the wrong thing. And I kind of knew it, but I had it backwards in my head, so I'm glad I looked. Okay. So say we have log, I'm going to make this ugly on purpose, and then later we'll double check it, make sure it's all good. Okay, let's say we have 7 to some unknown power is equal to, what's a tough number? 83. That looks mean. Okay, now off the top of our heads, we don't know. If anyone that knows it off the top of their head, why are you watching this video? You got this figured out, okay? There's a fun formula, not fun. Well, it's convenient, I'll give it that. It can help you, and you can put it in a calculator, which is all you need to know. So you can either do log, remember this is base 10, or you can do natural log, whichever your preference is. Same thing, okay? And it's always going to be bigger number, all right, over smaller number, right? And you can put these ones into the calculator. So I'm going to do natural log. Why? Because it's intimidating. And I feel tough when I do it. So there's this one divided by ln 7. Don't call it ln like I just did. I do it. It's wrong. I mean, go for it if you want. So this is saying 2.27. Okay. And look, you have an answer. How nice. Now you're thinking, Katie, this could have been completely wrong because no one knows what this is. Well, let's do it with one that we do know that's nice and friendly. Again, let's do log 2, 8, because we all know it's equal to 3, and it's just a convenient one to write out. All right, so it'd be what? Log 8 over log 2. Now this should equal 3, and if it doesn't, then we got real issues. So we'll do log this time instead of natural log. So log 8 divided by log 2. And guess what? 3. Math still works. I'm going to write this out one last time just so you have it. If we have any sort of log with a base of x and your number b, and you don't know the answer, it's going to be equal to either base 10, and it's going to be b over x, okay? Or you can do natural log. These don't necessarily have to be base 10 or base e. You could do log base 5. That's a 5, not a b. If you wanted, you can put any number here if you want. But typically you're not going to do that because I can't put log base 5 into the calculator. But again, maybe you want to do it this way. So there you go. What is our takeaway? Log is equal to an exponent. Logarithms, they're pretty bad when you start out. They get better, or at least you learn how to cope with not understanding. I'm not sure what sort of problems you have with these. I just know that you're kind of doing them. So if there's something specific you're stuck on, or you already know this and it's something a bit deeper you're having troubles with, let me know. Oh, look at this. Hold on, let me find it. Digging in my desk drawer. I wrote this out because I'm a professional now. Look at that. How nice. Anything like notes or whatever, because I don't know what you're working on unless you send me your notes or text me if you know my number. I'm not putting my number on here. This is the email you can send it to, and then all my stuff will be posted here. So yeah, good luck. I hope your math trials go okay. I will see you later.